All right. What's going on, everyone? It's Brendan from the Trading Fraternity, and today's video that I'm going to be going over is on trading journals. And this was actually requested by one of our citizens after they seen a couple of my videos where I emphasize trading journals. And the reason why I always emphasize on journals is because, not only you log your transactions, you log your trades, but you are pretty much having an opportunity here to learn about your own performance. And when I say learn about your performance, I mean looking back and seeing what is working for you, what is not working for you, and you can see if there's any kind of bad habits, you can fix them and essentially become a better trader moving forward. Because that is the goal when it comes to trading in general. You want to become a better trader. So what I'm going to do today is basically just go over a couple types of trading journals that you're able to use, and basically just go through my personal journal routine so you can eventually just design your own journal, because that's the most important part when it comes to trading, is having your own style. Because if something works for me, it might not work for you, and that even comes down to the journal. So that being said, let's get things started here. The first journal I want to go over is just basically, you actually just find it on Google. So let me just pull this up here. And all I did was just Google stock trading journal, and you can see the ones around it. It's pretty much, they're all the same. They're just they're just Excel sheets. And let me just pull it up here so we can take a closer look. And you can see it is pretty much descriptive here. It has your stock symbol here. It has your purchase date, your purchase price, the sell date and price here, the amount of shares, the commission, gives a little bit more detail. It gives a detail on your performance, like the P&L here. A little bit more details over here, like the sector and what exchange you were traded on. If you want to basically just make a spreadsheet, just to keep track of your transactions and your performance, I highly suggest making something like this here. Is it something that I would actually use? Probably not, because I like to have a little bit more color when it comes to my journal. And when I say color, I mean, a little bit more description. I want to basically log with the reason why I'm getting into my trade and getting out of my trade, what is going on during that trade, just to basically I can learn from, like I said, from the beginning, learn about bad habits that I had and, fix them so I can become a better trader. So that pretty much makes me go to my next point here. We'll go to the next journal that actually one of our brothers created, John. He created for the pledges, and it's kind of pretty much similar here. You can see it has date, time, the stock, if you're going to be trading the option, it has your strike and your expiration, your entry price and exit price, your P&L. But this one has, a little bit more difference here. As you can see, like I was emphasizing on color, this has an area where you can write your trade thesis and why, what happened that day, what was going on during the trade. Not only gives you a little bit more color, and the reason why we always emphasize this on our newer traders to use this log is because of the additional information at the bottom here. Now, I highly suggest newer traders to be using something like this, because this allows you to actually learn about the company that you are trading. Because as you can see here, it has their stock exchange, of course, but it makes you write down who the CEO is, where the headquarter address is, what is the product and service that they are selling, what is their competitors. Like, basically you're able to identify the sectors in the future. Gives a little bit more finance here. You write down the market cap, what the 52-week highs are, 52-week lows, what the volume averages is, and just basically a little bit more detail here. So like I said, it gives you an opportunity to learn about the stock that you are trading. I'm gonna use this as an example here. It might be a bad example, but if you were gonna buy a car, most people, they like to research the car that they're about to buy. This is pretty much the same thing here. You are basically researching the trading vehicle that you are about to buy. And that's very important when it comes to this here. So like I said, I highly suggest the newer guys to be using this here. So let's go on to my third journal here, which is actually my personal journal. I'm going to pull this up. So this is a screenshot that I actually sent to one of our brothers named Jacob, a while back, to basically get him started. And it's kind of funny because he's actually been writing like this since, because, he's been telling me this has been working for him. So anyways, let's just get back to the actual journal. My actual journal here is, I like to use, an ongoing Google Doc. You can use a Microsoft Word if you wanted to, but I like to use Google Docs because it allows me to access the journal from my phone. And like I said, I emphasize mobile trading for the ones that are working or at school. Get this app too for your journal. But anyways, like I said, getting back to the actual journal here, you can see I start every morning with the date, and I write a little paragraph of the pre-market. As you can see here, pre-market, I was feeling decent and patient. I like to write down my emotions because I did notice once I had a habit if I was super excited, I would over trade right out of the gate, which could be, disastrous if the trades were going against me. But anyways, that actually allowed me to fix that habit when writing it down. But so like ever since then, I've been just writing down my emotions, how I'm feeling in the morning. But anyways, getting back to the actual journal here, I noted that market gapping up after expected pullback from theory. I do write down theories like market theories. I also like to write down what's going on in the news wise. As you can see here, Baba beat earnings as expected. We'll keep an eye on this. Netflix insider bought more shares, same guy as previous, and the stock ran beforehand. And when I wrote, I think it was like a week or two beforehand, when it comes to the Netflix guy, he bought shares, insider shares, and the stock ran like crazy the next day. So I was looking at that for that day, and it's kind of funny how, like I said, when it comes to your journal, you'll remember things once you write it down. So the next thing I wrote is focus today to baby swing trades and keep a watch on Baba and Netflix. And that pretty much I just write down what I'm going to be watching for the day. As you can see below the pre-market paragraph there, I like to write in bullet format. So as you can see, my first note here is an actual trade itself. And what I do when it comes to a trade, I like to highlight it blue because it sticks out of the, out of the journal as I'm scrolling by. If I'm going back to a date and if I want to see a trade that I put on it, I'll see it highlighted blue. But anyways, I like to write down the contract. I do manage multiple accounts, so I have pretty much like initials for each account. So I noted here it's for a swing, strong out of the gate, small position, hoping stock comes back down a bit more. So I do write down my trade, and you already know by reading the pre-market the reason why I got into the trade in general. So the next area here, you can see I wrote a note here. I had a position in LVS, and I wrote down a note here. LVS back up will stop out under $52 as the actual stock price. And you can see here I actually sold out, and I always put a star here for selling out of my position. And I do put my exit prices, and as you can see, I have a profit of 29 cents per contract on this account and 28 cents per contract on this account also. It says I stopped out. With all the chop activity, will be a good idea to roll to September if you still believe. And it's kind of funny in the next note here, I note here, action is complete shit so far, just watching this Netflix struggle with the 96. So that pretty much told me I don't really believe in the trade. And as you see, the next note here, I had SPY bounce to all-time highs, which is always a good note. I always like that. And this is a better example when it comes to my trading journal here, was the win trade. I bought win 102s. They were weeklies for that week at 95 cents. Yes, they are risky, but I got them at the money, and I saw pretty much the momentum before the actual chatter came out. You'll see here icon stake chatter. Saw call activity go into casinos beforehand. Good entry so far. Stop out at 102. Basically, I was already in the money. I was using pretty much a trailing stop at that point. And I said, I noticed win after BYD call action. And I was seeing casinos reacting. Win popped up, and then chatter came out. So like I said, I was already looking at the casinos in general when it came to the LVS, and I was looking at Win at the time, and I got in before the actual chatter was tweeted out by Open Outcrier. And as the stock was continuing to go, I might roll Win into further dates for 110s. And as you see down here, Icon came out and denied the rumor, which triggered the news algo to stop me out of my trailing position. And it says, I was debating to sell right beforehand, lost half the gain, but oh well, stayed disciplined and patient, might look to swing if dips more. So as you can see here, I stuck to my plan when it came to the chatter trade here. And that's always a good idea. Like I said, I always write down pretty much my exit plan and all that. So then to finish off the day, end of the market, I do a recap at the end of the day. So this was actually like I said I had to leave 15 minutes early. The SPY closed green at 218.56. I write down any kind of good notes where it says, overall good day of trading and emotions didn't force anything and play the chatter right on win. We'll continue baby swings and stick to plans. Keeping the eye on Win and Baba, still going for swings. The reason why I write the recap is because the next morning I like to read the recap so I know what happened yesterday to kind of remind me moving on forward. Like I said, I like to write in an ongoing Google document, so I write all the way at the top again just to kind of push this one down. I like to actually write a weekly recap where I add up my P&L, any kind of good habits, any kind of bad habits where I can kind of keep in mind moving forward. And I actually like to write, what I'm going to be looking forward to, trade ideas when it comes to the next week, moving on forward. So you're probably thinking this is a lot of work to do. I do agree with you, but this is something I've been doing for some time that now it's just become very natural to me where I just write notes throughout the day without even thinking about it. So this pretty much wraps up the video here after going over, a few of these trading journals. And I hope you guys did learn something today. And so you guys are able to make your own journal that fits your style, because remember, this is all about you. You want to learn from your mistakes, your bad habits to improve your trading performance. It's kind of funny. I actually know a couple bodybuilders that actually keep journals for both working out and their diets, because they want to actually improve, their performance in their craft. So as you can see, this is actually practice outside of the market also. So anyways, just you guys in the chat room, keep hitting me up, and I'll keep making these videos. So for you guys on YouTube, come and join us. And that being said, guys, you guys have a great night, and you guys take care, okay?